Hello and welcome to the demo of the Bhumi Real Estate CRM and the ERP for the complete construction industry. Okay, now let me take you to some screenshots. Like this is how this first screen would look like, where you can have a look at all the various modules in the system. So whenever you want to go for a particular module, you can simply click on that module. You can update your ID and passwords, and then you can start working. Okay, let me start with the pre-sales module. To start it, we start with the defining of the various source of the leads. And the sources are defined at three levels. One is the source type, source category, and then the actual source. Let's say the source types are predefined things like print media, internet, hoardings, fair, walk-in, dealers, etc. So within the print media, there could be n number of newspapers or magazines, and that would be my source category. And then for a particular newspaper ad, like say if you're generating a full page ad or a half page ad or a particular size of ad, so you can define an ad type, and then you can define this particular newspaper ad or hoarding or a internet ad in this particular media is being defined. So we are generating a campaign here along with the cost. So whenever you're getting a leads from the campaign or from this advertisements, we will be basically updating the customer name, their phone numbers, email address, and the mobile number. Now here also we have a option where the system will automatically check on the duplicate number or the email ID. Let's say we have a new project launch and we are advertising on newspapers, internet, websites, and other media as well. So there is a possibility that a customer can contact us through multiple mediums. So if a particular customer is already being attended to or is there already in the database, so whenever there's a duplicacy of the phone number or an email ID, the system will automatically prompt you so that our resources or our team would be already knowing that this customer is being handled by a particular resource of ours or an employee of ours, and then it can be the new lead also can be forwarded to him. Or alternately, if you want to assign the lead to a different person, so you can always have this tracked. So whenever the new lead is there, we can give a particular filter for his requirements, what was the requirement, what is being offered to him. And then at every stage, we are going to define the current status of the lead along with the potential, whether it is hot, cold, and warm, and then the task. Again, for every lead, we are going to define the next task when we have to contact the client next. So it is either we have to send him a mail, or we have to give him a phone call, or we have to send a mailer, we have to send some details, or it could be a meeting. So this is a particular process, and every task, whenever we are going to attend the task, it has to be again going through the same process. We will be defining the current status, current potential, and a new task. So this process will go on till we reach a final status. So whenever we have a final status, either the current deal is closed, so it will be posted to the sales department, or if the deal lead fails because of any reason, we can have a analysis of the reason. One more thing, this entire thing can be directly linked with your IVR and property portals. So, or maybe even you can import all your existing leads or current leads from the Excel sheets. So whenever there's a new lead through an IVR, it will automatically post it. You don't have to update it, or even the leads can be posted from your property portals. Now, this is all about what we have discussed. You can have a complete inquiry details, prioritize your inquiry based on potential ratings, product search options, track the interaction. At every stage, every interaction with the customer would be tracked here. Now, I take you to the dashboard of the CRM. By default, the dashboard would be on a monthly basis, or maybe on a given defined period. By default, it would be current month. So for any given period, the system will show you what is the total number of leads, or the total number of inquiries or leads generated into this period. And you can define a particular stage where a customer has visited the office maybe, or visited the site. So you can treat it as a milestone. So for this given period, what is the number of milestones achieved, and what is the number of sales converted? So with this period, we have got more than 3,000 leads, 160 milestones achieved, and 22 sales achieved. Now the next thing is expenditure. Now again, this would vary for various periods. So what is the expenditure in terms of amount we have spent in this given period of October? So this is the expenditure. Now, this to just to give you a simplified matter, what is the leads per milestones and leads per sales? Like out of every 21 leads, there is a milestone, and every 153 leads or 150 plus leads, there is a sales conversion. Then from this expenditure, we can find out cost per leads, cost per milestone, and cost per sales. And then of these 22 sales, what is my sale value? With this sale value, I can always find out what is my direct expenditure percentage. In this case, it's 0.07 because I think the data is not updated properly. But the normal scenario is it's about 1 to 2%. Now, what are the number of tasks? Here you can see this is 9,000 plus tasks attended in this period. So in this period, we have made these many calls or follow-ups or meetings. What are the various tasks for today? Now, here you can see there are 14 tasks. These tasks again would be depending upon the hierarchy we have logged in. So a top management can see all those people's tasks below him. But a lower level executive, he can be able to see only his task. Then what are the various late tasks and next day tasks would be there. Now again, on the right hand side, there is a pie chart where you can find out what are the various number of, what are those various source category wise leads. So let's say in this case, I have got 27% leads from my Facebook form and 41% from my Facebook WE campaign. Then there are different other modules of other campaigns. So we can, in general, find out what is my quantum or the percentage of leads coming from various sources. Now below this, we have a graph where we can see the last 12 months sales and milestones. So it starts from the right hand side. This is my current month, October, then September, August. This will show you the red or the maroon one is these are the milestones and the green is the sales one. So we can always find out what is the number of sales and milestones in the last 12 months. Similarly, in the next screen, we can see the total calls for the last 12 months. That means total follow-ups we have done. Fresh calls or the fresh leads for the last 12 months, because we need to analyze the data for the entire 1 year. Let's say we have got some seasonal ups and downs. So we can analyze the data in the dashboard itself. Expenditure incurred on the ads for the last 12 months, cost per leads, cost per milestones, and then cost per sales. So these are directly coming from my various leads and source data. Now, whenever I'm updating a lead, this is my lead task history. So this is a very important thing that we have designed it in such a way that all those information pertaining to a particular lead would be defined in a single screen. We don't have to scroll it on like an Excel sheet here and there. So if we want to see on top of it, this is the customer name, phone numbers, email ID, inquired through this source on this date, last attended by this user on this date, he was interested in this project, we have offered him this property, current status is sold, and these are the remarks. Now, if you click on this plus button, you can see the entire trail. It was first attended by October 2018, then 9th October, 9th October again, 10th October 18, then 28th of October, 29th of December, 11th of July 2019, 25th of October 2019, 26th October, and then finally we have been able to close the deal on November 2019. So you can see if we have the complete track, we know at which stage it was attended, who has attended it, and even the remarks at each stage. So whenever a customer walks into the office or calls into the office, even if the representative is not available, we can have the complete information, complete tracking of it. Okay, this is our lead form. In the lead form, we will be updating certain information like customer name, mobile number, phone number, email address, the source of the things. It could be directly, we can define on the source, or we can go from source type, category, and this is what is the budget of the customer, what is the product he was looking for, what we have offered, and then the potential, status, task assigned to which user, task date, and then the remarks. Here, as I told you already, the lead number and lead details will be auto-generated, attended by is there as per the login, and whenever there's a duplicate phone number or some email ID, the system will give you a pop-up where how to handle this thing. Now, this is my lead scheduler. You can find out what all are the various customers that we have to attend for a particular given date or a month or a week. So we can find out these are the various inquiries with the current status. You can simply click on any of the leads. It will take you to the lead task sheet as I have shown you in the previous slide. Okay, though we have got, I would say, more than 200 different types of reports into this CRM, I would stick myself to only one report, which is my cost analysis. And this is like for any given period, this report gives me what are the various ads or the sources we have captured into this period with the ad types, number of ads given for this category, what is the total cost, and what is the number of leads we have received against this in the given period. With this number of leads, how many is the milestones and how many is the number of sales. Then we have got cost per leads, cost per milestones, and cost per sales. So this will, you can further analyze what is my maximum cost per sales and minimum cost per sales in the given period. So you can find out which mode is working for me most effectively, which is giving me most leads and which is giving me the most effective way to convert it. Okay, now we come to the sales customer management CRM. Here we are dealing with the entire bookings management. We start with the bookings, customer statements, demand notes, broker management, taxation, interest, and all those MIS with dashboards. You can have multiple companies, multiple projects, always explore the units sold, available, on hold, whether it is launched or not launched. As per the client preference, you can have a complete dashboard for that. The basic thing is rule-based pricing. We are going to define each and everything beforehand before we start the project. So what are the various units, various unit types, PLCs and all, and what are the various rates for different durations. So whenever we have a change in rates for maybe PLCs for basic cost and all, so we can simply define it in the system in the masters itself, and then automatically the system will generate or capture the rates of the given dates. Comprehensive customer information. Customer is divided into various into individuals as well as non-individuals. So whenever we have got individual client, we can have a certain profile, customer's income profile, investors or end users, nominees, date of birth, anniversary details and all those things. And then for the non-individuals, what are the various partners or the various directors of the company. So with these things, the purpose is to have as much information of the customer as possible so that this information can be utilized for any of the purpose later on. And then when we're generating agreements, we can use this information to generate system agreements itself. Then we are trying to capture as much information and we are making it as much system driven. Like you can define the various rates for the payment plan type. Let's say for a down payment, you are having a different discounts or a payment plan rate. Similarly, you can have rates for each unit or each floor or each unit type wise separately. Now, multiple payment plans. You can define any number of payment plans. Normally, they are construction link, down payment, and time link plans. Now, these payment plans you can define for basics, PLC, and additional service differently. And then these payment plans are further customizable. Let's say for a construction link plan, you have a certain standard plan. And at the time of booking, a particular customer is looking for a slight modifications. So these payment plans or for the basics and other charges can be customized for a particular booking itself. Now, for the flow of it, we start with the defining a company, all those and the project within the company, then all those ledgers and the GST rates for the project. Then we are defining unit types. Unit types are the various units where we are classifying them as per the size. For the residential, it could be 2 BHK, 3 BHK. For the commercial, it could be as the various size of the units. And then units are defined as per the unit group. Like there could be multiple projects with residential, commercial, or maybe it could be apartment, it could be plotting, or it could be any other parameters. So we can club them together in the unit group. Then this is my unit master. Unit master is a single unit. It could be a flat, it could be an office, apartment, it could be a mall, or it could be a shop, plot, whatever it is. So whenever we're defining a unit, this is a single unit we are selling to the customer. Now, with this unit, we are going to define which block or tower it is in. Then if it is multiple towers, then which floor, and then any PLCs. PLCs could be linked with the floors, or PLCs Like it could be a park facing, east facing, or any location things, a corner plot, something. So all those things linked with the unit would be defined here. And then all my additional charges or additional facilities, car parking, club membership, EDC, IDC, IFMS, power backups. So here what we are doing is the entire project would be defined initially. Now again, one more thing I tell you, this entire information we can directly import from the Excel sheets. So the each and every unit, each and every flat would be defined initially with all those PLC and additional charges and the total cost incurred for this. Next thing is we can define various occasions and the payment schedules accordingly. We can have, as I told you, you can have multiple payment plans, construction link, down payment, term link, and all. So we can have we can define various occasions. We can define payment schedules for basic payment, PLCs, and all additional charges. Now I come to the broker management. In the broker management, we have got two things. Like the one thing is brokerage plans and percentage, and then second thing is brokerage payment schedule. So we can have a certain slab. Let's say for up to 5 units, we are let's say offering 5%, or up to more than 5 units, it could be 6%, or maybe even after more than 10 units, it could be 7%. So we have got various slabs. Then it could be applicable only for the basic payment, or is it applicable for PLC and additional charges as well? So this is, we can define the brokerage plan, and then brokerage payment schedule. That means the amount payable to the broker based on the amount received from the customer. Let's say if you are receiving 10% or 20% from the customer, so maybe we will be releasing 25% of the brokerage. Accordingly, we can define multiple slabs, and then payments would be issued to the brokers as and when we receive payment from the customers. Now this is my dashboard for the POSIS CRM. Again, we will be working here project wise. You can have a period for the dashboard. Within the dashboard, you can see what is the unit status summary, like total units, how many units are there in the project in terms of numbers and areas, allotted units, preferred, on hold, vacant, both in terms of numbers and areas. Then we have got payment bifurcation. So whatever payment we have received in this project, this is there. Now we have got two columns. One is the total amount, and then this is within period. So this is the total amount received in this project against this particular payment mode. Let's say banker's check or cash or draft or whatever. And then this is within the period. So we have got total these payments received within this period from particular type. And these are further drilled down as well. So if you click on the cash or check for this period, so it will show you the number of receipts or the number of bookings for which we have received these payments accordingly as per the payment mode. Then we can have booking summary, like within this period how many bookings were being made, payment plan wise booking summary. Then they have got lot many other web parts as well. You can have complete discount details, what are the number of discounts given in this period, unit type wise, you can have floor wise, you can have dealer wise. So all those combinations are there in the dashboard itself. Then we have a complete layout availability plan dashboard again. So here for any project at any block, you can find out what are the various status of the units for the particular floor, and which unit is available. You can simply click on this unit and get the status. And for all those booked units, you can simply click on those units and it will show you the complete customer statement for those units. Now, once we are defining the project, so all those taxation, ledgers, interest applicable, bank details would be defined in the project master itself. So whenever there is a change in tax rate, we will be updating it in the project master itself. Complete dealer database. So that means you will have a complete database of all the dealers, and we can even have a multiple dealer hierarchy. So there is a dealer below a dealer. So our dealer has introduced a sub dealer. So whenever let's say we are giving a 5% brokerage to a dealer, and there is a dealer below him, which we call a sub dealer or sub broker. So we can offer him a 4%. So whenever there is a booking from a sub dealer, so 4% would be issued to him, and the remaining 1%, just like MLM thing, would be given to the main broker. Like the dealers, you can even have employees incentive records. So you can give incentives to various employees against each bookings. Then we have got flexible discount options. Discounts could be given by the dealers or even could be by the company. And this discounts can be of a different types. You can have n number of discounts for any particular category, any particular occasion, inaugural discount, festival discount, director discounts, or even cash discounts. And then you can have even payment plans for the discount. So this discount can be applicable to a particular occasion, or it can be equally divided into all those occasions. Then we have a checklist option. In the checklist option, you can define your own checklist for the bookings. Let's say if you want to see what are the various stages of the bookings, or how many documents have been collected for the particular booking, or if the form is being signed, photograph attached, documents given, all those stages you can define. Okay, now these are the additional charges, masters. So you can define what is this, like this is for car parking, is it normal or mandatory? What are the taxes applicable for this charge, and is it going to be fixed, percentage of BSP or per square feet? Then, as I told you, you can make any number of payment plans. So within the payment plan itself, you can have a flexibility of, let's say, the first thing is booking. You are getting 10% of the, in terms of percentage. It could be directly in amount as well. And then the next installment is 90 days after booking. It is dependent on the actual booking date of the booking. So in the system itself, here itself, we have defined that after every booking date, after every 90 days, so next installment of 90 days would be due, that is again 10%. Then these are certain defined dates, like Bhumi Pujan, casting of first floor slab, third floor, whatever is the things. So we'll be defining those occasions on those towers, and then based on those towers, automatically those occasions will be due on the respective units with the payment plans. Now you can define, as I told you, this letter templates. We have got option to define the letters templates in MS Word, and within the MS Word, once you define the things, we have got certain various tags. These are the various tags, just like you do mail merging thing. So in a letter, you define where you want to put the customer name, address, phone number, what is the booking amount, unit number, project name, then the complete payment schedule and all. So you can define those things in the MS Word itself, link the file here, and then automatically it will be generated. Okay, now I'll tell you the flow of the bookings. Initially, we'll be defining customers, whether it's individual, non-individual. Then the source of the booking is coming directly, or is through broker or through employee. Then what is the unit we are giving to in this booking? With the unit itself, it will be showing you the unit type, rate and area automatically. What is the payment plan for basic PLC and addition charges? Discounts, if any, is it by broker or by company? Or if it is by broker, then is it a main broker or sub broker? And then the checklist. Our focus is to make it as system driven as possible. So we are asking you very basic details or very minimum details at time of booking. So the first thing is the customer detail, source of the booking, what is the unit, and the payment plan. These four things are the required things. Then there are other options, like if there's a discount, then we'll be updating it. The checklist would be updated if we are updating the stages of the things. And then the payment. Okay. Within the payment itself, there are two options. One is if you are getting a confirmed payment, we can simply go for a NEFT or the receipt thing. Or if you are just receiving a check, we can go either through a receipt process, or we can go for an acknowledgement process. So where once we receive a check, we'll be generating an acknowledgement. Then if it is a post-dated check or if it's a current dated check, we'll be updating the checks on the bank. Then after reconciliation of the bank, so once we know the clear value date of the check or the payment, then automatically receipt will be generated. So if you go by this process, there are basic two advantages. One thing is whenever customer comes with a receipt, we are always sure that the payment has been received. We don't have to recheck it with the accounts. And the second thing is when we are generating an interest, we can generate the interest till the time of the actual value date or the actual bank posting. So the customer will not be giving us PDCs and all those things. Okay, now this is now booking form. As I told you, we'll be capturing very basic information. So we give you an option for up to 4 co-applicant in a booking. What is the client detail? Source of the booking, is it dealer, which dealer? What is the unit detail, unit number? Automatically it will show me the unit type, block, floor, area, rate, and the basic amount. Now, if I have an option of an access rights, I can change the rate and the basic amount. Then the payment plan. After this payment plan, we have got other options like, let's say if a customer is applying from a Pradhan Mantri Yojana, then we can have a different applicable tax category and tax applicable percentage. Then there are certain other options like if it is being financed by which bank, sanction amount and all those things you can have. You can update the marketing executive, customer executive, payable interest date and all, but these are all optional things. Then if any discount is applicable, you can choose from a discount masters, pick it here. It will show you in the table below, and then you can even update those things. My next thing is all my PLC and additional charges. The system will automatically pick up all these mandatory charges and the PLC things linked with the unit. So if you are giving any discount on any charge, any PLC, any additional charge, you can still update it provided you have an access rights. If I move over to next things, it will give me the complete summary of those booking. Here we are showing you customer details, source, dealer, unit, area, rate, everything is being displayed here before we are going for a final saving of the booking. So it will show me the booking date, after 90 days, what are the various applicable percentage, what is the basic amount, what are the various charges applicable at various stages, the total of each charge, discounts, net amount, and then the tax amount and the total amount payable. If I go for the saving, then it will save the booking. Still, if I have any query, I can go back and change the things and then come back to the saving screen. Fully compliant with GST provisions, like whenever if we have an existing data, we have to write from the date of first booking, we have to update the service tax and the GST things. And the system, as I told you, would be having a complete flexibility, like whenever there is an occasion defined on a particular date, the system will pick the tax accordingly. So, and then we have an option for receipts auto calculation, where whenever we receive a payment, the system will automatically, on the basis of FIFO, first in, first out, will adjust the receipts and the tax accordingly. Acknowledgements, TDS deduction on receipts and acknowledgement. If the booking is more than 50 lakhs, automatically 1% TDS would be deducted. Now, next step is the flexibility, I tell you. Right from the booking stage till the possession, sometimes it goes from 3 to 5 years, 6 years because of any unforeseen reasons. So you can make any number of changes in the booking. The only thing is the system will track you right from the day one, what was the initial booking status, and then what all we have changed. So whenever we go for a booking update, it will show you the complete details. What is the old status, what is the new status, old basic tax, old basic additional charges, PLC, old amounts, old service tax, new amount, new tax, difference amount, and difference tax. Generation of all your GST invoices, your payment reminder alert. Okay, one major focus of this module is, so whatever bookings we have made, we are planning to receive the payments well on time. So whenever there is an occasion due, the system can give you various notifications on SMS, emails, and we can generate various letters through mail merging thing. As I told you, I will be showing you the formats of those letters again. So the point is, we are going to intimate the customer through various modes, through SMS, through emails, through letters, and then even through phone calls. And each of them would be tracked in the system itself. So the possibility of getting or receiving the payment well on time is far more. Interest calculation. So whenever there is a delay in payment, we don't want any delay, so we can apply interest. It could be simple or compound to the customer based on the number of days the payment was delayed. Against, it would be against each occasion and each type. And then if you want, you can waive the interest. Waive the interest in terms of amount or in terms of percentage. Fund facility from one booking to another within or across the project. This is also an important feature. If a customer has 2 bookings, if he is given a single check, or if he has cancelled a booking and then you want to transfer the payment to another booking, it can be easily done. Now this is the screenshot for the acknowledgement. So whenever we receive a check from the customer, we are simply going with the booking number. This is my amount. It would be auto adjusted against the FIFO thing. The booking, this is the due amount, receive amount, unapproved amount, balance amount received in this particular receipt. Then the next occasion, the third occasion, the system, here you can update the payment mode like check, instrument number, bank branch, etc. One of the formats for the acknowledgement. The similar format would be there for the receipts as well, and then we can have multiple number of different formats for each of them. Initially, like you can have acknowledgement number, date, booking number, customer detail, payment in respect of booking, instrument number, bank detail, against booking this much amount, this is this, text bifurcation, and then the thing. Then you can also have a header footer where you can print it directly this thing on a letterhead, or you can have a footer here. Bank reconciliation, post acknowledgement to bank, and then bank reconciliation. All those dealers bills with TDS and GSTs. Even you can adjust the payments of the dealers to a particular booking. Now there are so many other transactions like transfer of booking from one. Initially there might be some investors into the booking, and then you are moving on to the end users. So you can transfer the booking from A to B to C, and you can have any number of transfers, and you can even apply transfer charges if you wish to for a particular transaction. Then for the cancellation, we have got a two-step cancellation process. So if a customer is not paying well on time, or if there is a problem, you can put it under cancellation, and then once it is being cleared or it is being discussed with the customer, or if he is paying well back, you can revoke the cancellation, or you can go for the final cancellation. Even we have an option for buyback of the units from the customer against a premium. Modification of booking, as I told you, you can have any number of modification, but the thing is, it will be right from the change date. It will not be retrospective. So you can have a complete track of the transactions, what was the initial, what was the next, first change, second change, third change, because we cannot go retrospective, because we have generated all the reports, we have deposited all my GST returns and other things. So nothing can be done retrospectively. It would be in effect from the current date, current change date. Then other transactions like refund, debit note, credit note applicable to clients and dealers. And one important factor is you can start working instantly. We have got certain utilities and features where all your existing bookings, your master's data, receipts and all would be directly imported from an Excel predefined format to the Bhoomi. So our target is to get you live as soon as possible. A format for the dealer bill, so whenever you go for a thing, so you can get the details of all bookings, what was the total brokerage, how much is paid, what is the balance to be paid, what is how we are paying it. Interest waive, these are a few screens for the interest, how it is being calculated and how you can waive it. Project summary. Now this is an important report where we are trying to give you many information in a single printable A4 format. If you look for it, we have clubbed the columns together. So in this thing, this is the project thing. It has been bifurcated into 2 BHK, 3 BHK and 4 BHK unit types. Within 2 BHK, this is the total number of units, units sold and units available. Let's say if you go for 3 BHK, total is 71, sold is 64 and 7 is available. And if you check for the total thing, this is for the 242 units, 233 sold and 9 is available. Then out of these things, what is my sellable area for this 3 BHK, average area for this unit type, and then sold area, and then unsold area. So if you want to see 3 BHK, total area is this much, per unit area is this much is area is sold and this is unsold. For the entire project, you can see this on the total thing, on the bottom line. Then based on the sale we have made, what is my basic amount, PLC amount, other amount and total sale value. Let's say for 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 4 BHK, this is my total sale value amount. So this is give you complete bifurcation of the basic PLC and other amount within the same unit type. And then for the entire project. Now, next thing is my sale value per square feet. So this is going to be my actual sale value per square feet after discounts and all. Now, most important thing is my called amount and receive amount and outstanding. So in this 3 BHK, let's say we have called for 10.52. We have received only 3.52 and more than 700 is current outstanding. So for the entire project, if you want to see, let's say 40.65 is my called amount. Called amount means whatever amount we have called so far, which is due so far. Then against that, we have received only 15.25 and my 25.2540 is my current outstanding. If you convert it into percentages for an easy reference thing, so like in this category, we have received 47%. Sorry, in this category 33%, 25%, and this is the total thing. Now for the next column, we have got if for the unsold inventory, how is the costing involved for the unsold inventory, and then this is for the total project. So this is a very valuable report where you can have all those major macro details of the project within the same A4 printable format. Now, a few reports I just want to show you once again here. This is the complete booking info report where complete details of all those bookings would be displayed here in a tabular format. Also here where sometimes we have got more than 256 columns available for various things. So all those for every charge we have got 9 columns. What is the total due, basic due for this charge? What is the receive? What is the balance? And then what is the tax due, tax received, tax balance, and then the thing accordingly for each charge you can have those columns. Then for your requirement you can have these templates, like let's say for within this report you just don't want to see all those columns, you want to see only a limited columns. So you can select those columns here, booking number, booking date, client name, unit name, whatever columns you want, you can simply put it a template name, and then next time when you open this report you can simply choose this template. So the system will show you only those columns. So it's very easy to use, very user friendly, and very effective. Then we have got lot many other reports. Similarly, future payment reports. You want to see how many payments to be received in next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days and all. Payment collection things. You can again choose the columns. You can put the filters for a particular given date, which projects, what are the payments collected for a period. This is a statement of account for a particular customer. Basic information on the top. What is the cost sheet? Basic sale price, pool facing PLC, car parking, power backup, IFMS dates, amount, taxation, total, what is the total receipt so far, current payment schedule. This is a detailed complete payment schedule. Occasion, due date, particular due, percentage, tax amount, net due. What is the receiving person amount and what is the balance. So for each occasion, each charge, you can have a complete detail with a bifurcation of particulars like basic car parking, cover parking and all those things. Now again, after that, once you have a receiving, you can even have a detailed schedule with a check number, check date, how much, let's say for each occasion, for any occasion we have a part payment. So what was the first payment, which date? So you can track out all those details from the system itself. You want to find out occasion wise due and receives. For this is a summarized thing sort of. Initial things is there, customer details, unit type, total cost and all those things are there. Then occasions, due date, total amount, net credit amount, balance amount. Letter generation, you can simply define a date, system will give you automatically all those letters to be generated. You can simply select a letter type, or you can have multiple formats for the letters, and then you can simply from here itself print all those things, or you can send email, send SMS from this form itself. Now this is one of the formats for the demand letters, like initially like customer name, address, phone numbers, my project name, apartment name, this is my occasion. Now here if you want to see, this is very important thing like due date, stage of payment, charge type, percentage, charge amount, taxable amount, what is my tax applicable, tax amount, total due, paid, payable, net total amount, advance amount. Here itself you can even see the interest applicable till date, if any, for the delayed payment. The purpose is to give the customer as much information transparently so that they do not have any query and they pay us well in time. Dealer brokerage thing is there. You can find out various reports for the dealer brokerage for a particular dealer, how many, what is the booking discounts, what is the amount received from the customer, how much brokerage payable, how much is being paid and all. Now this is important, access rights. You can define access rights for each user separately. You can give rights to view, add, edit and delete to the each customer, to the each user, and that can again be defined for each project separately. Now payment follow-ups, you can have, we have a complete CRM thing for the payment follow-up. So for any given project, for any given period, whenever we call to a customer, we'll be updating this on this sheet. So what was the discussion and what is the expected amount and what he is committed for the next few days. So for the follow-ups and all, you can have a complete things here. Document management, yeah, this is important again. For each customer, you can have various documents scanned itself. So within the system itself, we can generate all those documents. We can have all those copies of it. So we don't have to go to the file every time to get the things. Dashboard and MIS, you can have any number of reports, any number of combinations. I can tell you we have got more than 3 to 400 different combination of reports, and still if you want any other report, you can just call our support team. They will add it there and then. The point is, if we have the input, we can give you the output in any format. That's it for the post sales module.